What if I told you that everything you think you know about getting rich is probably wrong? What if being good with money has almost nothing to do with how smart you are and everything to do with how you behave? We're about to dive into the secrets of Morgan Housel's game-changing book, The Psychology of Money.
I mean, we're all taught to think the answer is a big, flashing yes, right? Get a bigger salary, chase that bonus, land that high-paying job. It just feels like that has to be the path to financial success. It's only logical.
But here's the twist. This is the idea that completely flips the script. The book argues that your financial success is actually less about what you know from a textbook and way more about how you act. It's a soft skill where your own psychology is actually more important than your intelligence.
So we're going to break down the most powerful lessons from this incredible book. We'll cover why getting rich and staying rich are two totally different things. And stick with me, because I'm going to reveal the super surprising reason why the best thing to save for is, well, nothing at all.
Okay, first up, a distinction that is so important, but almost everyone gets it wrong. We tend to think of financial success as just one thing, but it's really two completely opposite skills.
So, getting rich, that's all about playing offense. You got to be optimistic, you have to take some big risks, really put yourself out there. It's kind of like a sprint. But staying rich, man, that's a whole different ballgame. That's about defense. It takes humility, a little bit of paranoia even. It's about surviving and avoiding financial ruin at all costs. You absolutely need both, but you can never, ever confuse the two.
And that whole idea of survival, it brings us to a concept that can be a little hard to swallow. But trust me, once you grasp it, it is so freeing. And that's the massive role that luck and risk play in absolutely everything.
This quote right here, it just shatters our tendency to create heroes and villains. You know, we see a billionaire and we think, wow, pure genius. We see someone go bankrupt and we think, what a fool. But the truth is, every outcome is a messy mix of the decisions you make and the wild, unpredictable forces of luck.
And you know, really embracing this is so liberating. It lets you forgive yourself for your own money mistakes, knowing they weren't 100% your fault. And on the flip side, it keeps you humble when you win, because you recognize that luck was probably your co-pilot. It just helps you learn the right lessons from everything that happens.
Now, let's talk about the chase for more. A bigger house, a nicer car, we are all wired to want it. But there's a huge danger here. The goalposts never stop moving, and you can end up risking everything to try and reach them.
So the book gives us this incredibly powerful antidote, the idea of enough. This isn't about being lazy or settling. It's about knowing the point where wanting more actually starts to cost you things that are way more valuable, like your peace of mind, your time, or your freedom. The bottom line is, there is no good reason to risk what you have and truly need for something you don't have and don't need.
So this is a question I want you to really think about. Have you actually defined what enough looks like for you? Because if you haven't, you're basically playing a game that you can never win. It's a personal number, a personal feeling, and figuring it out is one of the most critical financial decisions you'll ever make.
Okay, so if the secret isn't being a genius or taking insane risks, then what's the single most powerful force for building wealth? This next part, this is the one most people miss entirely.
Just look at this, 97%. Warren Buffett is a fantastic investor, no question about it. But his real secret weapon isn't some magical stock-picking ability. It's his timeline. The man has been investing consistently since he was literally a kid. His real superpower is just good old-fashioned compounding over a very, very long time.
See, good investing isn't really about getting the absolute highest returns possible. Why? Because that usually means taking risks you just can't stick with. The real magic is getting pretty good returns that you can hang on to for the longest possible period of time. It all comes down to time in the market, not timing the market.
And that brings us all the way back to that secret I teased at the beginning. Look, saving for a house or a car, that's great. But saving for no particular reason at all, that is a true superpower. That unassigned cash gives you flexibility, it gives you control, it gives you options, it lets you ride out the storms so that compounding can do its thing without being interrupted. It buys you survival.
So, let's bring all this home. What does this actually mean for you? Let's boil all these amazing ideas down into one single actionable mindset you can start using today.
You can't control what the market's going to do next year. You can't control the global economy. But you can 100% control your own behavior. You control your savings rate, you control your humility, you control your patience, and most importantly, you control your personal definition of enough.
That's where the real work happens, and that's where the real success is found.
So I'm curious, what's the one belief about money that this explainer really challenged for you? Was it the idea that staying rich is a totally different skill? Or maybe that concept of defining your enough? Let me know your biggest takeaway in the comments. And hey, if you want to be part of a community that's serious about learning like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Because maybe the biggest lesson is this: wealth isn't really found on a spreadsheet. It's a story we tell ourselves about how we behave.